Hello Daily Drafters and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. Today will be our 7th Lost Caverns of Ixalan draft as we continue to draft Ixalan in preparation for Khans of Tarkir some point in the next few weeks here, which we will make a decision at that point about which set we're drafting when. There's some scuttle on the internet about, on the interwebs as they say, that the format is maybe less than appealing and less than exciting for some. If you want to know my opinion on that, stick around into the draft and into the gameplay. I'm sure I'll express my opinion as we get there. But speaking of draft and gameplay, we can't get there unless we get to our draft. So I will see you in today's Pack 1 Pick 1. All right, and here we are. Let's take a look at what we've got. If we look through the commons, if we look through the sirens, Oaken Siren is what catches my mind here in the commons. We do have at least a common of every color, it looks like. Not a huge fan of most of them. Compass Gnome, fine in some decks. Got the Cave, but Oaken Siren's the common that sticks out. The Everflowing Well, 3 mana, ETB's Mill 2, Draw 2. Descend 8. If they're 8 or more, you transform it into something that eventually can copy things. Not that great, but okay. Lodestone Needle is quite good in my opinion. Belligerent Yearling for the Dinos decks. Also another pretty good option to start early. I've yet to play Dinos. This is one of the best reasons to do so, right? I mean, I do think blue is better here. No, Lodestone Needle's just too good. 2 mana flash. When it ETBs, tap up to 1 artifact or creature, put 2 stun counters on it. You can craft it into a repeatable storm engine. And instant regret, as we see in its Quinth here. And an Abrade. Well, hindsight's 2020. I still think this was the quote-unquote correct pick. But we're not exactly rewarded by making that pick there. So I think I'm going to take Abrade here. Getting these cheap removal spells in this format is just so important. Abrade is, not only the best common in the format, in my opinion, but just better than many uncommons as well. There's a Scampering Surveyor, which is a card that I've come up on already. I haven't played too much of this, but it has improved. Curator of Sun's Creation, 4 mana 3/3. It's the Discover payoff card. You don't really need a payoff for Discover. If you're discovering, you're doing just fine. But there is an Itzquinth here, and I wish I would have taken the Yearling so we could have taken the Itzquinth, but we'll be fine. Hurl into History. Is that something we would look to do today? Probably not. That's a card I'm looking to wheel if it's open. There's a Rampaging Ceratops to go for the Dino deck that could have been. Same with a Bristleback and even a Dart Frog. But I think this is a pretty easy Saheeli's Lattice for us. 2 mana, discard a card, draw 2, craft with dinosaurs to make it into a creature on the backside. And it is an artifact. Blue-red wants to be artifact-based. And I think this is just among the best cards in that pack, so we'll take it here. Interesting pick here. We've got an Oaken Siren and a Chartacourse. And a Sunfire Torch for the more aggressive blue-red deck. I don't think this blue-red deck is going to be particularly aggressive, though. I think Oaken Siren is arguably better than Chartacourse. Potentially. But I think this is a less replaceable card. Because we already saw one Oaken Siren, we see another one here. And there's a chance, because it's common, we see at least 1 or 2 more to pick up. There's less of a chance we see a Chartacourse. And I think this is a better card draw spell than any of the common blue card draw. So I think I'm going to take the Chartacourse here. I'm not really passing up on a lot of other things to take this Chart-A-Course. Now we've got an interesting one here because we do have a Deadweight. And this is a pretty late Deadweight if we're being honest. The question is taking this Deadweight and going into a third color. Here's a Kincaller for the Dino deck. We could have had it today. We just could have had it. I don't think I'm taking Pilgrimage here. I'm not taking my first Cave when there is a Volatile Wanderglyph in this pack, which would be great in a blue-red artifacts deck. I don't think I'm taking Deadweight. It would put me in a third color here. As good as Deadweights are in the format, I think I'm going to take the 2-drop artifact for the colors that I know I already am. Because look, we get another Siren and an Iceberg here. And another Dino. I'll point them out every pack for you. I think... I don't know what to choose here. We already do have one craft card. If I didn't have a craft card, or we have 2 craft cards. If we didn't have 2 here, and if Chart a Course did, or if Oaken Siren didn't go as well with Chart a Course as it does, I'd probably take Iceberg. But all those things considered, I think I'm taking Oaken Siren number 1 here. Interested to see if one wheels pick 9. I don't think it will. It's one of the better blue commons. So we'll see if it comes back. Well, I mean, just give me all of the Oaken Sirens, I guess. Wow, pick 7, Join the Dead. Pick 7, Iron Paw, Aspirant. Caves deck flying around. I have no idea if I'm going to draft Caves even once this format. It doesn't appeal to me. The payoffs aren't there. Even when I get one pick 7, I just don't feel like doing it. So I'm just going to take the good blue 2-drop, right? Wow, lots of blue and red still here. And blue and red is considered among the best decks in the format. There's an Island Cycler, which goes well with Saheeli's Lattice, because we can craft from our graveyard with this Dino. But the question is, look at our curve. Do we need to make it go bigger when I could just take another Wanderglyph here over an Idol and a Puzzle Door? I think I'll just take that. Did we wheel the Oaken Siren? The answer is no, but that's okay. There is a Brackish Blunder and a Compass Gnome. Interestingly, I think I'm actually going to take the Compass Gnome here. It's an artifact. It's a 2-drop. It helps you get out of mana screw. Helps you get out of missing land drops, missing colors. It does a lot. It's just a good card, and it has synergy in our deck because our deck is going to care about artifacts here. So, yeah. Now we're at the point where the whole Dino dream isn't really worth debating anymore because people took the Yearling, and they're going to take its Quint in this next pack as well. So we're just going to, I guess, take the Curator and look to not play any of these cards here. What a curve. I mean, have you ever been able to leave pack 1 only having 2-drops in your deck and nothing else? Because that's where we're at. As well as 7 artifacts out of 9 cards here. Okay, Hurl into History did make its way back. There's a Song, a Hotfoot Gnome, a Wanderglyph. I've heard that the format is aggressive, which makes this card notably worse. I haven't experienced as much of that, but I mean, probably going to start in the sideboard and then see where to go from there. Okay, now we get a free cave land here. That works out just fine for me. Don't think we need Daring Discovery. I mean, they pushed this card. 3 target creatures can't be blocked this turn, discover 4. It's just... it's a 5-drop. That's just a lot of mana. And an island. What can we find here except Literal, in my opinion, is the best card in the set. Ixalan's Deepest Betrayal. Can we afford to take this here and go into like blue-black control with Chart a Course, Needle, and Double Siren? Or even red-black? What are our other options here? So Join the Dead, Chupacabra. This is a very good black pack. Dreadmaw Ire is good. There's no blue. Scallywag is fine. Pirate is great. We can't pass Ixalan's. 5-mana 4/4 flying lifelink. Whenever it attacks, they discard a card. If they can't, you draw a card. Discard a land, make a 1/1. Dies into a land. Can flip pretty easily. I mean, we have to take this and figure out a way to be black because that card is incredible. So how are we going to do this now? We're going to take Corpses of the Lost to follow it up. Why not? 3 mana for a 3/2 haste. And at the beginning of your end step, if you descended, pay a life, return it to your hand to replay and make another 3/2 haste. Yeah, I'll take that. And then I don't think I wheel Defossilize, but that'd be great if I could. I don't know what color I'm pairing it with yet here, but that's a problem for another day. And that other day is basically right now, because everything here does not go with our new black plan. There's a Primordial, which I don't think is great. There's a Blade Master, which would have been fine in our old deck. There's a Monstrosaur. I guess I could take the Monstrosaur as a cycler here. And if we play a little bit more of a red-black controlling deck, it works well with the Lattice. We have 2/2-drops already, and a removal spell and a Braid. There's not a lot of blue I care about here, so I guess I'll take the Land Cycler. Alright, blue and red are interestingly drying up quickly from that direction. I don't know why. So I guess we'll take another black card here in Tithing Blade. We could take Soul Coil Viper as another way to get Aclazotz back from the graveyard if we somehow mill it. I don't think that's worth it though, so I'll take Tithing Blade as a fine enough removal spell. Rock Slide, a little expensive. There is a Skullcap Snail here and another Compass Gnome. Some more blue, but not the good blue. I think Rock Slide is a little bit too expensive. I mean, I would play one. I just don't need to take it over a 2-drop here. So I think I'll take the Skullcap Snail to delay the decision as far as what our second color is here. Inquisitor is only black card. I don't care about that. Hoverstone Pilgrim, I mean, maybe. There is a Waterlogged Hulk here, which could be quite good if we go blue-black and are looking to have some sort of self-mill going on. I don't care too much about these cards if we end up going red-black. Let's take the Hulk and see if that ends up working out for us. No blue and no black here. I have had many drafts over the course of this channel be derailed by a pack 2 bomb that I feel like I have to take, and then my deck just ends up not being open at all. I'm wondering if today is one of those days. I think we just take a Wanderglyph and hedge back towards black-red. Greedy Freebooter is a way to potentially ramp towards Aclazotz if we chump with it or are lucky enough to trade. I could take a Hidden Volcano, but let's get the Freebooter in here because I think we're most likely to be black. We have an outstanding A+ bomb and a solid, rock solid B+ Corpses of the Lost here too. So we've gotten basically no blue this pack at all. And look at that, Plundering Pirate came back. No blue, no black. So let's take the Pirate and look to be some sort of like red-black inevitability deck with Aclazotz and Corpses just kind of doing work for us here. And kind of just trading off early and removing things and just trading off with Wanderglyphs and smoothing our hands. I mean, there have been worse strategies. I don't know what it would take for me to go back into blue at this point. We didn't see any blue this pack. We're not going to wheel anything. I can't imagine. He says as he wheels nothing but blue cards. There's a Hermetic Nautilus here, which is 2 mana, 1/4 Vigi. It's pretty much all you need. There's also an Unlucky Drop, which would probably be playable if we played blue-black. So let's take this here. Blue-black and red. I don't think I'm playing any of this no matter what color I go into. So I'll take the black card. Maybe we find a way to fit this in here if we find the Sacrifice. Another Compass Gnome. There's nothing wrong with that. So what are we looking for in pack 3 to really secure this up here? I'm looking for deadweights. I'm looking for a roaming throne because that's a 4-mana card we can put no matter where we go that is good. 4-mana 4/4 Ward 2 with upside. Don't mind if I do. There's also a Spyglass Siren. Pretty good, but probably not good in the kind of deck we're building. Visage of Dread would be good for us. A Pirate. The last one wheeled. We could wheel this one. Necropolis could wheel. But I'm just going to take the colorless card we know we're playing here. Some interesting white, but I don't think we are playing any of that. We could splash these cards off of Compass Gnomes. What's the other option? An Acolyte of Aclazotz to go well with our Mephitic Draft. We're not a Gargantuan Leech deck. I don't think we're a Sunshot Militia deck. We're no longer a Puzzle Door deck. I do like the Militia, but not necessarily in this deck. I think the Acolyte is actually going to be the best for us here. So let's take that. Red is already getting cut. Zoetic Glyph and a Subterranean Schooner are available for us now. Oh man. Okay. I don't know how much of a Schooner deck we are. We have 14 artifacts for a Zoetic Glyph, though. That card is so good. I think it's got to be Zoetic Glyph. As much as I like the Schooner, I'm not sure how much of a Schooner deck we are. And I'm thinking now I'm blue-black splashing a Braid. Another chance would be a good way to protect against milling our Aclazotz. Benthesor, we really aren't the Caves deck at all. Brine Fang, Out of Air. Yeah, I guess we take another chance over a Dowsing Device and things and continue black. There's another Snail. Another chance. We're not much of a Dreadmaw Ayers kind of deck. There's a Guide Mural we could splash. There's a third Compass Gnome. I think I'll take the Snail here. Another Freebooter, I suppose? Don't need another Hurl. Brine Fang, whatever. Pirate Hat not for us. I guess I'll take a Freebooter, and I think we're blue-black? Splashing a couple cards here. Okay, I don't mind an Iceberg here. That's a pretty good pickup for us. Pick 7. Probably not Lattice either. And this is kind of the deck. Still 11 artifacts for a Zoetic Glyph here. I think splashing a Braids off of 2 Compass Gnomes is probably okay. Although with all the self-mill in the set, you probably have to play at least 2 Mountains. Do we have a way to loot it away if it ends up in our hand here? Not really. Kind of with Chart a Course, I guess. Okay, Fanatical Offering goes really well with the Freebooter, and it goes really well with the Draft. Council of Echoes, we didn't really build our deck for Descend 4. There's also just a River Herald Scout. We have 12 creatures, that's okay. I think I'm actually going to take the Offering here. Notably, the Eclipse actually could be pretty good in our deck. But it gets rid of both Oaken Sirens. That's a tough draft. These drafts where you open these bombs that you feel like you can't pass and can't leave out of your deck makes for tough drafts. Not playing literally anything here. I think there was an option to go black-red here as well. I think the Zoetic Glyph is what put me over the edge to go blue-black as opposed to red-black. But, I mean, we have plenty of 2s. It's just, this isn't really a 2. It's not really a 2. It's not really a 2. Everything else is, though. Alright, Removal in Brackish Blunder or Sage of Days. Sage of Days could help us dig towards our bombs here. I think I will take the bounce, though. I think that'll be better for us. Don't know if I'll play the counter spell, maybe. Third Compass Gnome, probably not, but we'll put it in for now. Okay, so we kind of got there. We have a lot of early plays to help us bridge the gap toward these late plays. Another Marauding Brinefang, that's not too bad, and maybe even a removal spell in Song. Alright, so we've got options here. Really hope we see the Acolyte enough to have this be worth it. But I think we need 2 mountains. I think Splashing a Braid is going to be quite important for us. Again, I'm not a huge fan of the freebooter, but if it means we can ramp out an Acolyte quicker, it's probably worth it. I think everything else up here is good, except maybe a couple of these gnomes. What down here? I think we need another chance. The Song, who knows? Everything else seems okay. We're not that much of a Descend deck, so I don't know how much the Hulk actually does for us here. Yeah, so I keep coming back to these, so I think I can cut at least 1 Compass Gnome, 17 lands. I don't think we need 17. We could probably go 16, right? 772? Yeah, that seems okay to me. This is almost like a secret 2-drop if we get a little light on lands here. And everything else seems okay. Roaming Throne. What are we going to name with Roaming Throne? If a triggered ability of another creature you control triggers. I guess this is a triggered ability. That's a triggered ability. Fungus Snail or Human Pirate. The gnome is, but I don't think we want to copy that. Okay, so we're... well, that's pretty good. A Bat God. You can trigger that, but Aclazotz doesn't need any help to be good. So I guess we're naming either Human or Snail. Or Human or Fungus, depending on which one of these we think is going to happen next. It's basically our only triggers here. I guess if we have Aclazotz on the battlefield and we're about to attack and we can play this, we can name Bat or God. Okay. So Human or Fungus is what we're thinking there. Probably 16 I think is fine for this. And 40 cards. Okay. We'll see if we can find our best cards and bridge the gap toward them when we get to the matches here. But before we do, if you wouldn't mind checking out the Daily Draft Patreon with a link in the description. The Patreon is a great way to support content creators that provide entertainment to you. I'd like to draft here, and I post drafts on the channel. I hope you get at least some entertainment out of seeing the drafts here as well. And again, the Patreon is just a way to kind of give back in a way. And when giving back, I also give back for giving back to you with perks such as early access to all my content, access to the Daily Drafters Discord server, and tier lists, incredibly detailed and incorporative tier lists that you can gain access to as well. So go ahead and check that out, and thanks so much for your consideration, and I will see you in game number 1. All right, here we are, and hello, beautiful. He is in hand. We have Iceberg, Siren, we've got a removal spell, an early one at that, which is going to be great here. We'll go ahead and keep this and hope we can find our lands, as we did there. So I think we're playing Siren. That way next turn we can play Iceberg and Tithing Blade if we want to. And if we don't want to, we could just play Acolyte. Okay. This makes them sack a creature here. So I think we just play our 3-drop now. Just be most mana efficient. This unfortunately can't help us cast the Aclazotz. But that's okay, we can get rid of their Hermetic Nautilus now. And even cast our own. Yeah, I think it's better to do this than to play the Iceberg. Although the Iceberg gives us a better chance to play a turn 5 Aclazotz here. You know what? I think I will. That gives us it gives us 2 shots at a land to be able to play Aclazotz next turn, and we did get it. So quite important there. Now we've got turn 5 Aclazotz, and let's hope they don't have exile removal. Waterwind Scout. Fine by me. So I could attack with my own Acolyte. See if they call my bluff. I doubt they will. Alright, I think they will actually, so I'm not even sure it's worth doing that. So let's just get this thing down then. And pass. And if they go for exile removal, we have Acolyte backup to flip it into a land here. Ancestral Reminiscence, that is fine by me, because we get an attack in with this now. We can flip the Iceberg next turn as well, using Mephitic Draft. Now we get the stupid triggers. And by stupid, I mean, like, incredibly good triggers. Go ahead and craft this here. Get a 6/6. Now we have all kinds of protection. Panicked Altosaur, what an answer. Good thing we have Iceberg Titan. Treasure map. Okay. Let's get in with these two here. Tap down the Altosaur. Get a trigger. Make a bat. Could flip the Tithing Blade using the bat if we want. I could discover. I think I'm actually just going to flip the Tithing Blade. I mean, that's even more inevitability than we already had. Okay. They're going to turn their Waterwind Scout into a 4/4 here, which will trade for Aclazotz. But I could also just, yeah, there are so many different ways I could have pushed through there. And we built our deck to perfection, exactly how we wanted it to work there. Alright, we go first again, and we have all 3 colors of mana, usually good enough for a keep. So we'll keep that here. As we develop this game, as I mentioned and teased in the opener, that we've kind of heard many people being underwhelmed with the format so far. I think I'll just play a 2-drop. I don't understand that kind of thought. My thought is like, look, we all love drafting Magic the Gathering, right? Or I mean, most of us do. If you're here, you probably do. Um, yeah, I'll offer the trade. Looks like they'll take it. So, what's the point of saying you're having a miserable experience or the format is so bad, the format is awful, I hate this, and then continue to draft it 30 more times? Like, clearly, it doesn't seem to be the most beneficial thing in the world to claim that things are horrible when clearly we all enjoy them and continue to do them. So it'd be like, the format isn't as fun as a lot of others, but like, I'm still having a blast and I'll do it again. That's where I'm at. I mean, you know, is it as fun as others that I played before? Probably not, but is it like the worst thing I've ever done? No, I'm going to continue doing this. I keep drafting 30 times and posting it. Clearly something is going well and I'm enjoying something. So that's pretty much where I'm at. Don't know about all of you, but let me know in the comments what you think of that as well. Of course, we did lose our one enchantment here. Can't get that back. Guess I can greedy freebooter and hold up blunder if they attack with it. I can fanatical offering the freebooter at some point. Sunfire Torch. See if they use the map. Looks like not. They'll attack and then probably throw the torch at our siren, I would think. That's what I thought. And do they have like a goblin haster boy or whatever? That's a good one. Don't like to see that up there. If only this was a land. It doesn't do us that good to to explore on this because we're just block sacking right now, if I had to guess. I mean, we could sacrifice it right now and hope to hit something. Hit a land. Don't miss our land drop. Do this. If we do this, no. We have a better chance of playing a blue card. So if we tap it with red, we might also make a treasure notably. But a braid also kills this or that. There's a much better chance we draw a card that we can cast this way. So, well, I guess I could also just sacrifice the map. I hadn't even considered that. Let's just do that then. Play the island. Do I care about playing this as opposed to holding up another chance here? I don't feel like getting any of that back. That doesn't do much for me. Guess I'll just do this. I suppose I could have used the map on that to block the Herald Scout. But we know what we're doing next turn here, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I definitely would have double blocked had I used the map there. Choosing not to play the Appraiser, get a flyer down, get a couple map tokens. And a crewmate, finding Oh, that is incredibly annoying. That's about the best answer they could have possibly found to an Aclazotz here. That probably kills us. Wow. Yeah. That was probably dumb. I probably should have just iceberged. But I think I'm playing Aclazotz, and then the Braided Net's just going to take it down for 3 turns here. So if we draw this next turn, we can still just craft this. And if we draw a land the next turn, we can play this. And we have like 3 enormous threats here. Alright. See your Braided Net. There's not a lot of ways to deal with this thing. And like I mentioned, that is among the better ones. These are maps, right? Yeah. Here comes the net. We're getting another very large creature next turn regardless here. It's either a 6/6 or a 6/7. If one of these trades and gives us a treasure or not. Okay, let's see them tap down Aclazotz here. Sure. And then we'll just give ourselves a 6/6. And now they still aren't in great spot. And if we draw another land, we have one of the best cards in the set, a 6/6 that's not too shabby, and a 6/7 ward 3. So all of that is good. Let's see what they find off the appraiser. They have found a Goblin Tomb Raider. Sure. Puzzle door and crack it, probably. Sure, start getting in with that. That makes sense. Resolves. I think I'm going to untap the Iceberg Titan here. I guess I could have untapped Aclazotz to prevent the Waterwind Scout. Yeah, that would have just been better. That was definitely the better choice here. It would have prevented 3 more damage coming my way. But doing it this way might prevent even more than that. Yeah, the Tomb Raider now as well. That makes sense. So we get to trade it with an Appraiser and a River Herald Scout, I suppose. Okay. No, let's tap like this. See what we can find off of drawing 2. Two lands. Something I can do is cycle the Brine Fang, get an island, mill 2, and return the Brine Fang plus whatever other creature. Because the only other creature we have in here right now is Oaken Siren, which like isn't great. But it's basically free to just draw an extra island if I know I'm going to cast this. Which I don't have a guarantee I will cast this, but I mean... It's kind of like draw an extra card if I want to just use the another chance here. Okay, well this is pretty easy. I'm just gonna block. Doing this before these scries come up here. I wonder if they have a combat trick. I could also scry something to the top now, mill it, and then get it back with another chance. Do I care about that one? I don't think so. Don't need that either. This braided net has made this game a lot more difficult than it needs to be. Okay, so we get back Brine Fang and I suppose just the Nautilus here. We did get rid of a braid, which is kind of annoying, but not much we could do about that. Let's have them tap down Aclazotz here. Hope they aren't holding up a counterspell, but I mean, I can't not play this, so... Okay. Okay. They have a 3/2. Counter a target activated or triggered. I suppose they could have countered my Brine Fang draw. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's kind of annoying. Their braided net, notably, is empty. One, two artifacts. Okay. Third from the top. I guess they can mill their way to it. Actually, they can mill one and then look at the top two. Take the braided net. So they only have to deal with the Aclazotz for one more turn here. I guess that's not exactly the way you wanted to do it. If you wanted the braided net. Oh, they get it anyway. It was going to be able to be cast next turn no matter what. Don't need that, even in the slightest. Go to blockers. I'll trade the Nautilus for whatever they they offer it for here. Can make it a 4-1 and trade. Yeah. And the turn with all these lands. Nobody's missed a land drop yet. They can play the Braided Net and start tapping this down again. They do have to deal with the 6/7 though. So that's kind of a way to do it. They double block. Statistically speaking, we're going to draw a non-land. Will that happen? Who knows? That's actually pretty darn good. So let's get rid of something here. I don't care what it is. They're not in a good spot anymore. Okay. Have them tap down. I mean, at this point, what do they tap down? They tap down the Brine Fang? Nope. I did it this way. I played the land in the event that they do eventually kill this. We do need a person to have one or fewer cards in hand, so we got to make sure we're always down to a maximum of 1 so that we can flip this almost immediately. That's the one that's like Evolving Wilds. Yep. Plundering Pirate, make a treasure, sure. Sack a land, draw a card. They're digging. Oaken Siren, there's another chump blocker. It blocks the bat. I mean, they're finding answers here. Sure. Guess I'll trade this for a Monstrosaur here. I mean, they're doing everything they can to stay in this game. They will need some life gain to avoid the Tithing Blade just killing them. This game would have been over about 20 minutes ago if not for this Braided Net. They are, again, doing everything they can here. Guess they can craft this thing. Turn it into a vehicle. Three lands left in their last 12 cards, more than likely. What does that mean? Is that a board wipe? Do I block this pirate? I mean, this is another lethal threat. My thought is they're just going to play another creature that can block this gnome very easily. So I'm going to preserve my life total, and at the moment, the Consuming Sepulchre is going to be all-consuming if things don't change. Two lands left in their deck. So they've got pretty much nothing but gas left, for the most part. Descend 15. Sure. So that's unblockable. Wow. That's an answer to Consuming Sepulchre. Jeez. Gosh, they're finding every single possible answer they've got here. Yeah. We already got rid of our Abrade. Okay. For some reason, they turned that into a treasure, which is weird. That seems like their win con. They also do deck before us if that ends up mattering. I mean... Are they going to be able to play it immediately? No. Still 3 deep. Healy's Lattice trying to find it? I mean, they're going to run out of cards here now. I'll take the bat. Braided Net is next. They're doing some calculations. Oh, they thought they were going to get to it. Sacrifice this for treasure. Cast it with that. Cast it with that. Belligerent Yearling. Well, let's just get a card out of their hand to start. Yeah, okay. Wow. What a game. I mean, they put up quite a fight in coming back from that, but the all-power of Akhlazotz did end up taking over there. Alright, we are on the draw this time, and while this hand looks not great, we have a freebooter which can chump to give us a treasure. We have Brinefang, which can cycle for an island. Draft can draw us a card, and any land lets us play Corpses of the Lost here. So I think it's a fine keep. See, there's a turn 3 Corpses, regardless of what else happens. Now I think we will just cycle the Brinefang here and not play the draft, and obviously not the Tithing Blade. Get that blue, play it on turn 3, play Corpses. It's very mana inefficient to play Tithing Blade here. So I'm just going to do this. Offer the trade. If they don't take it, next turn they play another creature, I Tithing Blade one of them. Draw a Captivating Cave. Play Thousand Moons Infantry. Okay, so what are they going to sacrifice here? Gotta think it's going to be the Waterwind Scout, because that holds back... The infantry holds back our 3-2. Yeah. In order to descend, I would have to chump attack with the freebooter. But then that also opens up Charter Course without discarding a card here. Then I can return this back to my hand. I mean, yeah, let's see if they'll take it. I didn't even think they would. So now I just get to draw 2 cards and not have to discard one. And still don't get to descend off of the corpses, but I mean, still get to draw 2 cards. Can't be upset with that. Let me rephrase that. Draw 2 lands. This card's usually not great unless you have an army of 3/2s. Then obviously it ends up working out pretty well for them. They get a free attack with this thing. This thing has vigilance, which is kind of annoying. And now it's a 3/5. So, yeah. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's see what we find here first. The Oaken Siren isn't really doing much for us right now, so I'm just trying to see what we can find. They're not going to block the freebooter. They already demonstrated that. So no attacks. Hold up Blunder on their infantry. Sure, they'll just play it again. Yeah, there it is. I guess I just do this. And then play the Oaken Siren, I suppose. We don't have a lot going for us here. I miscalculated. Miscalculated my math, to say the least. Hermetic Nautilus. Gosh, that also just doesn't really do it here. I mean, they have a 3/5, and that's just really annoying. I will take action here, though. Means we don't have a block on the infantry anymore, but... Does this cost 4 or 5? Oh, I thought it cost 4. That's why I thought I could still play an Oaken Siren. Tinker's Tote, and my turn, hold up, what, Counterspell? Okay, just gain 3. We are a grindy deck for sure. Aclazats will go a long way if we can find him. But they are playing blue-white, which has several good pacifism type answers. Of course, they play an answer to our double Oaken Siren here. And a land is the thought. Suppose I could have attacked with both of the Oaken Sirens. They've got Vigilance. Down goes Corpses. These are now 2/2s. There's a 4/4 that draws 2. There's a land. This is about the point in the game where we just draw nothing but lands here on the channel. It's usually what we do. I mean, the exact point where you need to start drawing non-lands, you just find nothing but lands. Pretty easy blocks there. See if we can scry into something. I mean, it's 4/4. Yeah, sure. They have all of the cards and all of the mana over there somehow. Still. Would love to find our Fanatical Offering at some point. That'd be pretty good with Mephitic Draft on the battlefield. That would draw 3 cards. So I think we name Fungus here as the snail. We have 2 snails left in our deck that we could find. I guess if they have a combat trick, they have a combat trick. Okay. Yeah, you have a 4/3 flyer. Captivating Cave, doing work. Hello there. Forgot that card was in the deck. They're just gonna chump this. Chump, block. Take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 next turn. Can I afford that? Oh, okay, I see. Do I get rid of the Oaken Siren and the 1/1? Or they're 2/4? I think I'm actually going to do this. This opens up better attacks for our Zoetic Glyph thing next turn. If they don't have a better creature? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they can't flip this yet this turn here. They do get to hit us for 6. Okay. That is incredibly annoying. That is even more annoying than that. Now we're chumping Malcolm. I mean, we're playing 16 lands in this deck. So, yeah. We found 12. There's only 4 lands left in the whole dang deck. Don't think that'll do it. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't draw well enough. We had what we needed to win the game, we just couldn't find any of it. Aklazot's hid that game, and that was part of it. Alright, on the draw here with Hermitic Nautilus on 2, and good enough for me, I'll keep it. Now there's a Compass Gnome, that'll be interesting. Figuring out what to do with that one. You know what? Hitting land drops is just a good thing. I know we had too many of them last time, but double blue, I think I'll take action. Guarantees me a roaming throne. I can even take the cave land. Although I should have, now that I realize it, gotten the mountain. That's why I have the Compass Gnomes in my deck. Forgot I had the Abrade, but it'll be fine, because now all we have to do is just get rid of their Stinging Cave Crawler here. So something else I've heard is that this format is incredibly aggressive. Like one of the most aggressive formats that's ever existed. Have we played against like any aggro today, like at all? Am I crazy? That's also something I haven't necessarily experienced, but it's not to say it's not true. Snail or pirate, I think we'll name Fungus again. And beginning of the end step, if you descended, make a 1/1 that can't block. Alright. They did descend. Do I want to trade the Mycoid for the throne here? I don't think I... Hello, what does that do? Alright, when it attacks the player with the most life or tied, make a 1/1. When it attacks while you have the most life, draw a card, lose a life. Well, all of those things are great. I don't enjoy that. Sack an artifact or creature, draw 2 cards, make a map. So what I could do is I can sacrifice the Tithing Blade, draw 2, make a map, animate the map. Or I can sacrifice the Compass Gnome because it's really not doing a whole lot for me here. I might actually just do that. The Compass Gnome is really not doing much at all. Go ahead and animate the map here, and I think I'll hold things back. I have 2 blockers if this does choose to attack. Granted, they will both trade, but I think that would be okay with me. I'll probably trade the map for that if they attack. They'll make a 1/1 with lifelink. And the next turn I can attack with the roaming throne. That's interesting, and I don't like it. I kind of need a creature for the Charter Course to be good, right? Why are they attacking with the 1/1? It'll have 3 damage. Like, if they're going to kill this, they're just going to kill it. Like, what could they have? Make it a 4/3? That weird Dino something or other card? Okay. Zoetic Glyph finds Brackish Blunder. That works. Okay. Didact Echo. Okay, were they just trying to put cards in their yard for the Echo or something? Hit a land. There we go. One, two, three, four, five, six. So we can do Nautilus, Charter Course, and Lodestone Needle here. But the thing is, if I attack with the Throne, I can't also map token. And they could double trade here. Am I okay with them double trading? I think I am. Trade the Throne for a Didact Echo. It's not the greatest, but this thing does fly. That is pretty annoying. I don't know if they'll even do it. Looks like they will. Okay. So now we'll just chart a course. We have descended, notably. So I think this is a good time to do this. Use the map on it, and then return it back to our hand here. Compass Gnome. No, I don't think I need you. And then take action here. And now we've got 6 mana. We can see what they're going to do. Dig Site Conservator. When it dies, we can just sacrifice it, pay 4, discover 4, and get rid of 4 cards in our graveyard. Okay. Sure. A Deadweight. Sure. Okay. Okay. Could just play a Brine Fang here. Could play Corpses. I don't have a way to descend this turn. If I also play Corpses, so I guess I could cycle the Brine Fang, but that doesn't seem like the greatest. Let's get a big fat 6/7 down. And then we've got some more stuff to do here coming up. So they've got the 4/4 Death Touch creature they could animate. So this crafts with a creature. I could craft it here. I don't have to do that now, though. So let's start by doing this, because that gives us another attack with the Mycoid, or against into the Mycoid here. And if they like flash in some strange thing I'm not expecting, I could Lodestone Needle and tap it down if they're trying to double block. I'm not sure what they could have, though. Sure. No, okay. Go to damage. And, I mean, I can just get this thing going here now. This provides some inevitability. They can hit us for 4. I see. Getting back Conservator and... Oh, Preacher. Oh, yeah, yeah. And Cave Crawler potentially. Okay. Those aren't the end of the world, only because we do have a needle here. Oh, they didn't even get back the Preacher. Got back the Flyer. Oh, that is annoying. Okay, now we don't have the needle. So, good for them, I suppose. Cave Crawler trades with the Brine Fang. And a Waterwind Scout. Yeah, they're doing the thing here. Certainly doing it. I figured they'd trade. That gives us a free descend. Do I just flip the Iceberg? Or do I play Nautilus and Acolyte here? I think flipping the Iceberg is pretty darn good. They have a Didact Echo. They have a Risen Reef, or a Restless Reef, that I can trade it for if I absolutely have to. I think I will pay the life. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt me, but I get another haste creature next turn. I don't see myself dying from 11, but I mean, I guess if they have a way to use the map, find a non-land, animate Restless Reef, and kill my 6/6, then I do lose. That makes that much less likely now that they missed on the map. Okay, well that's an easy choice. Not even playing Didact Echo, so that tells me they're just holding up Restless Reef here. So I can trade Titan for Restless Reef. Is that something I want to do? It does give me another shot at, returning this back to my hand. And then I can play 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I can do everything here. I'll have 3 more creatures on the battlefield after that. I can only imagine that's what they're doing here. It's got Death Touch, so I just think they're just going to trade with this Titan. There comes the Reef. There goes the Titan. Here comes everything. Now this does become a 2/2, but we can trade with the Mycoid by trading with the Nautilus here. Still haven't found our friend, our good buddy, in here somewhere. Sure, that is a clock for them, so I see why they did that. If they attack with Mycoid, do I make the block? Well, there is potentially my answer, so let's see what they do. Okay. Goodness gracious. He was next up. Do I mill 2 cards? What can I get? A Brine Fang, and that's it. So yes, I mill 2. I'll take these 2 here. Play a land, play corpses. Everything is lethal. They have to trade with every single creature here now. Take action. They're at 2. Yeah, that stops this. And now we've got 3 lethal threats out there. This aggro format, treating you to many a very, very short games. Look, if you read online that something isn't fun, that doesn't mean you have to take that stance, right? Like, everyone has said this is the fastest format, even faster than Phyrexia, all will be one. If you don't experience that, then you don't have to just subscribe to what everyone else tells you. All right, on the draw, opponent's taking them all again. We've got a fine hand here, so we will keep it. I don't really even know where to expand on the thought that I was going on at the end there, but like, some people like don't get to draft near as often as I do, and you know, you read online and you read on Twitter that people say the format's horrible and it's too fast, and then they just get dissuaded from playing. But I mean, this deck is sweet. I'm having fun with this deck, and I'm playing against some interesting decks on the other side too. So, you know, don't knock things before you try them, I guess, is where to go from there. Do I need another land? I've got 4. I don't think I do. I can try to nab a better card with the snail here at some point. I could also potentially just animate the gnome with the glyph next turn and just start bashing on turn 3. And if they choose to trade, I discover 3 anyway, so... I could use the next gnome to get a red, though. Just to ensure I can cast a Braid. That card is very good. And by very good, I mean... when my opponent plays it against me, it usually single-handedly beats me. And when I have 2 in my deck, I'd go 2 and 3. So... Alright. Time to try to beat him down here. Yeah, I had 2 Brass's Tunnel Grinders in my deck on Monday and went, I think 2-3 or 3-3 or 1-3 with the deck. And every time my opponent plays it, they just turbo flip it, and then I basically just lose. Let's see if I can outrace it here. That's good. Potential Death Touch. Alright, we'll hit him for another 5. Play this, name Fungus now that we can just do that next turn and get 2 cards out of their hand, potentially. I guess I also could have named Vampire here. Drains them for 2, I think. Triggered ability. No, that's an activated one, so that wouldn't work. Okay, so this thing is clearly going to trade with one of these creatures at this point. So let's do this pre-combat to get that trigger. That double trigger. And then I think I'll just trade the Dark Frog for the throne here, if that's what they want to do. Because this will still be lethal next turn. They'll probably trade it with the gnome, but that's okay too. Alright, got rid of a Wanderglyph and a Capybara. Fine with that. That makes sense. Sure. We discover 3 into a greedy freebooter. Sure. That's fine by me. I'll just get in with everything. They have to block here, so they were missing land drops too, but that's fine. We were beaten down with a 5/4 Compass Gnome. Alright, opponent goes first again. I feel like that's been a theme, but maybe not as much as it usually is here. We have a removal spell, kind of, in Brackish Blunder, a bounce spell. We also have Chart a Course, which can draw 2 more cards to try to find a black source for us. The hand is a little bit slow. If we were on the play, I would not keep this. Yeah, that's what I needed. A mountain. But I think because we're on the draw, I think it's okay. See, now we did find the swamp anyway, so I guess we just play the snail here. It's the most mana efficient thing to do. If they don't play another creature, we attack with it. We play Chart a Course. Got rid of Dino-Tomaton. Let's see if they're color and or mana screwed here. Nope. And if they were, they got out of it. Discarding a 3-drop. So what's the other 3-drop? Plundering Pirate. So we play Freebooter and hold up Blunder, I suppose, and double block. The hand is very derpy. We just don't have a lot of power or anything here. We're just playing 1/1s and bounce spells and dying to 4/4s here. We do have an out to draw Aclazotz, though. We have 5 mana, and we can cast him. Yeah, I mean, gosh, do I want that? I can't. I mean, if I do this and then discover on top of it and get a counter, I can block this thing. Is that like my only chance? Not my only chance, but one of the ways I'd survive this here? I just have to get lucky. Inverted iceberg. Gosh, we're drawing all the cards that just don't do anything. Can I afford to keep an inverted iceberg? I mean, technically at this moment we're not under pressure as long as this Acolyte survives, but that is no longer the case because now they have a 6/6, so... Ugh. Yeah, their card quality is just too high here. There's a dead weight, so... They're just playing very, very good rare into best uncommon in the set, potentially, into, I mean, removal spell. Got a good deck. I mean, I have to trade with it, even if they have a combat trick. Activate only as a sorcery? I mean, yeah, I've got to try to trade and use the treasure. See what they do about that. Okay, they let it happen. Yeah. And then we got rid of our lodestone needle there, which was our best answer to that. Okay. I guess we're dead unless we find ours, and then it's an Aclazot's battle. Oh my god, what is this deck? Are you kidding me? This deck is ridiculous. I mean, every single card they've played is like a B or higher. I mean, we have to draw a land and exactly Aclazots here? Instead we... Alright, I'm done. Yeah, it's a miserable player experience to play against. With it, it's a lot of fun. Against it, no. No shame in losing to that deck. That's one of the best decks I think we'll play against the entire format. Oh, right, we are first this time. Got a couple of 2-drops and a quasi-removal spell. So, play one, trade it off, craft it, start exploring. This hand is a little bit better than our last one, so I think it's an easy keep here. Play our cave. I don't think I'm going to go get the mountain. Don't really see the need to do that right now. That is incredibly annoying. Sure. Let's do what we did last time and see if it works. Start beating down with a compass gnome. It won us a game earlier. Hopefully no pacifism. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, yeah. That happens. got a land. Makes sense. We did attack this turn, so we can do this. And then I think I'll get this one down here. It does have attacks against their Shipwreck Sentry, even at the expense of 2 mana. Okay, now I need to Compass Gnome a red to the top, just to ensure that... I'll do it after the Iceberg. If that resolves. Okay. Mill a card, draw a card. Never mind. Don't do anything. That's okay. We can abrade the Tidebinder next turn. And then we get this back as far as being able to craft with it. Is that something we want to do right now? It's gonna have to die at some point? I think I'm just going to play this rather than needle down their sentry. I know it's holding back a lot of what we're doing here, but, I mean, we have more creatures on the board. This has protection if we draw Aclazotz, which we currently can't cast, unfortunately. Well, if you're just not going to do anything, I mean... I know this has flash, but I'd like to attack. Okay. Craft with an artifact. See if they have anything to do about it now. No, they'll just take it. Okay, go to 7. Sure. They are missing land drops, but again, it's part of Magic. We do it, they do it. They'll find another land. There they go, Roaming Throne. Hello. What if we attack with everything? They have to block here, because if they don't, we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, they have to block the Nautilus. But that means we can't take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go to 2. That's all. That means we won't be able to play this Roaming Throne because we will have used this. But then we can craft the Needle here. I think that's all okay. So they go to 2. We craft. And then pass it back. Their creature is still tapped. And there we go. Alright, so the hand was really awkward, but theirs also clearly was pretty awkward as well. Alright, on the draw with an Iceberg on 2, a Land Cycler if we miss multiple land drops. So We'll keep it here, but hope we're not going up against red-white aggro, he says as we go up against red-white aggro. Yeah, let's just get the iceberg going, I think. Finding all the lands anyway. We're good to go here. You hate to see it. All right, so we're gonna drop out of this draft at 5. And now I said earlier that wait, did they just scry that to the bottom? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I guess this blocks their Sunscribe. We're just gonna die to a Dawn Runner here. I mean, I mentioned earlier we hadn't played against a bunch of aggro, but there's still time, as you can see here. Oh yeah, we are dying to aggro, to say the least, he says as he draws his 6th land or whatever. Okay. It's a pirate, right? Yeah. Well, let's just do human. I don't know if there's another human we have. Honestly, at the end of the day, I'm probably trading this off for a Dawn Runner anyway, so I don't think it matters. Oh my god, they had another one? Okay, sure. Take a lot? Take 9? We do not have time to do this. Let's gain a life, because this is just not happening. Alright, well, yep. There is aggro in the format, and we have found it. Get rid of another land? Yeah, what's their last card then? They just have some sort of equipment to put on the flyer to kill us here. No, just a card that doesn't do anything at the moment. He says as it immediately does something. Sure. Gosh, what a curve. I mean, yeah. And a top, so that'll probably kill us if we weren't already dead. So we chump, eat, I guess. No, you won't do it. Don't need card draw. I don't know what I need, if we're being honest. Pass it back, trade, bounce, go to 2. They put a card on top, so it's non-land. We know that. And then have the trick. Or some sort of trick here. Okay, go to 2. Play another creature. No. I mean, I don't know what I'm looking for, but... How much lands do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can cast this and a snail, I suppose. I don't know what the card is, but they did top it, so it's not a land. So we play Roaming Throne. Is it a braid? They might just kill our fungus if it is a braid. Family reunion, okay. Alright, well we got ourselves another chump blocker. Oh, that has vigilance. Okay, well, I have many more things on my docket than worrying about 1 point of vigilant damage at this moment. They hit the Discover Lord. I pretty much have to trade here. Notably, our Aclazotz has been hiding for the majority of these last several games here. That would be a pretty good way to stabilize, if we can find him. Alright. That's a card. That is a card. For each opponent who can't, you draw a card. Okay. These have vigilance. So does that, but I don't need to attack with that. Can we avoid a draw step here? This deck is probably playing Petrifies. If they find a Petrify, I'm just going to cry. Okay. Are we turning this one around? Oh, Aclazotz goes a long way, man. That was a tough, tough win there. I mean, we did everything we could to stabilize, and we somehow got there with it. Wow. Alright, we go second, but look at the power of Compass Gnome here. We can keep this hand pretty comfortably. I mean, either we find a blue before turn 2 here in 2 draw steps, or we put the blue on top, we play Corpses, we play our Roaming Throne, and off we go. So, fine by me. Blue-black mirror, inverted iceberg, sure. These are the kind of decks our deck does well against here. So let's play Compass Gnome, go get a blue. I think an untapped blue as well. See, without Compass Gnome, we would have had to mulligan that hand pretty easily there, and it did a pretty good job getting us back. So we'll do this. We'll play Corpses, I'm pretty sure. And then a land could let us play Charter Course and Oaken Siren, or we just play Roaming Throne. We've got options here. And if Roaming Throne dies, we've got another chance to get it back, so Brackish Blunder. Pretty good. Yeah, now we just play the throne. I think we name fungus for the snails that could come. Found their land, and not only just a land, but a plains. Alright, we will attack here. What does this even do? Sack a creature, put a counter on it, gains menace? Sure. Let's attack. Go to damage, chart a course. And Iceberg lets us get corpses back here. I know we don't get to play the Oaken Siren, but we guarantee the corpses coming back to hand, which is always a good thing. Which one's this? Evolving Wilds. Oof. Yeah, it's a good card. That is a good card. It's very good against Another Chance. Well, we can sacrifice it as a treasure and get it back with Another Chance. That's always something we could do. Doesn't trigger our corpses, though. Well, that is also a card, as they say. Yeah, let's just, let's reanimate this thing. Oh, we got the value there. All right, that was our 7th draft and our 4th trophy on the channel. We have 4 trophies in 7 drafts with 2 blue-white decks, a black-red, and a black-blue deck. Like, we are kind of finding ways to win with just about everything here. Aklazot's really pulled his weight in that draft, don't get me wrong, but we effectively built our deck around him to do so as well. Not to mention Zoetic Glyph had some incredible things there. Corpses of the Lost, great card as well, and everything else just kind of bridged the gap to make those cards win. Not much more you can say. Really, I mean, it's hard to not enjoy a format when you're trophying as often as I am, so, I mean, if that is what people don't enjoy, losing to me, then I'll take it. Thanks so much for hanging around and hanging around to the end of this video today. Check out Patreon, subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you next time for your daily draft.